Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Serving the Community. My name is Trisha Stetzel. I'm the owner of ResultsXtreme Business Solutions and also the founder of Serving the Community. The purpose is to highlight people and organizations in our communities that are giving through volunteer work and giving back to make our community, our country, and even our world a kinder place to live. I'm super excited about my guest today. Miss Amanda Boyd with Sanctuary Foster Care has come to join me. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, I am so glad that you're here. So I met you through Colton Cockrell. You've actually been on our Bridge the Gap podcast. So if anyone's interested in hearing even more information specifically about your business, they can pop over there. Today, I'd really like to concentrate, Amanda, on who you are and why you got involved. And as I understand it, you've opened your own nonprofit organization because you felt the need. So let's talk about that.
Okay, great. Well, like you mentioned, I'm Amanda Boyd, and I'm the executive director of the Sanctuary. And the reason why I got involved in foster care is because of my own personal experience with the foster care journey. So my husband and I, we've actually adopted 5 kiddos, and we have another one in our home right now that's a foster kiddo that we're in the process of adopting, and then we have 2 other kiddos besides that. So what really started to draw me to foster care is the very first placement that we had, and it was a sibling set of 3. They were 5, 9, and 11, and when they came to my home, the stories that they told me about what they had gone through and where they had been just broke my heart. So they came into care in March of that year. We got them in August of that same year, and we were their 3rd placement from March to August. They had been in 3 different homes during that short time frame, and not only that, but the placements that they were in. My daughter, she had eczema on her hands and feet. They were nearly purple because it hadn't been treated. It hadn't been taken to a doctor like they should have been. My son, his glasses were broken, and they've been broken for at least a month or 2. And he was nearly blind without his glasses. He had a severe, vision impairment. And then, when they came, 2 out of the 3 kids, their clothes didn't fit. And then when they told us they had recently had a birthday and they didn't get presents for their birthday or birthday cakes, to even celebrate their birthday. And my daughter, she's now 21. She was 11 when she came to us, but she's now 21. And still to this day, one of her super hurtful memories is that the foster mom looked at her and said, "I'm not your mom. I'm here to put a roof over your head, and I'm here to put food in your belly, and that's it. I'm not your mom." And so just, the pain that they had in their experience with foster care, I was like, this can't happen. Kids cannot come from their biological home where they're receiving abuse and neglect, and they be put in a foster care system where they're further abused and neglected. It just can't happen. Yeah. So there's my passion for why I got involved.
Well, and I can completely understand that. These children are they take in so much of their environment. And,
Yes.
As they grow up, especially when they're young, and they carry that with them their entire lives. And for you to really feel the passion to come in and make a difference in that space. So if I understand you correctly, you were engaged in fostering children well before you decided to found the Sanctuary Foster Care. Okay. So
Yes,
how many kids do you have right now?
We have 8 total.
8. You're
Yes.
just a blessing. And I think it's amazing that you have stepped in to really make a difference in all of these children's lives. All right. So you decided, because of this reason, to go off on your own and pull off this nonprofit. So how hard was that journey for you to actually get the business set up?
Well, yeah, I felt the calling, a strong need, of, okay, what's going on? Everyone hears that the system is broken. Foster care is broken. The system is broken. Everybody has tons of issues and problems with it, but there were no solutions out there about how do we fix it. And so because of that, I just jumped in, head first into it. I had no earthly idea about the foster care system from the business side. I only knew from the foster care side. I remember literally sitting in my living room because I didn't have an office set up yet, and a corporation, the company that I was actually fostering through, they said, "Hey, would you be interested in opening an office where where you're at. And I was like, okay, sure, let me do this. I had no clue about what binders were supposed to look like, licensing, minimum standards, anyway, all of the things that, are particular to a
Yes.
business. So I'm sitting there in my living room with things on the table, trying to figure out what to do. So it really was self-taught about, how to, do that side and what to do. And then not only that, but talking to incredible people that knew a lot more information than I did, and taking that advice. And so then when I started the office, what we found is that we needed to provide a lot more support for the foster parents, because if we can keep the foster parents healthy and we can provide them the support that they need, then we can keep kids in placement. And if we can keep kids in placement, then they can get healed from the trauma that they've been through. But as long as we keep moving them from home to home to home, we're just causing further trauma on these kiddos. And then you end up with kiddos that age out of the system because their behaviors are so difficult. They age out and they have no one. And so what do we need to do to prevent that? And the first thing that we saw is we need to prepare foster parents well, so that they know what they're getting into, what's going, normalize the behavior so they understand what's going on, and then support them in the middle of this battle that they're going to be in until they get through to the other side. So with that, the organization that I was previously with, unfortunately, was a corporate type of organization. And so because of that, they wouldn't necessarily make the changes that needed to be made in order to provide those policies and procedures. So a group of us got together and we said, hey, you know what, let's start our own, so then we can have the funding structure and we can do all the things that we need to be able to do as an organization to make sure that we can always make decisions and policies and procedures that are in the best interest of children, instead of making sure that we can pay our light bills, if that makes sense.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, and I love that you were able to get to the root of the problem, right?
Right.
If you're actually supporting these families that are willing to foster, then the rest of it gets a little bit easier, right?
Yes.
For these kiddos. So man, a girl from my own heart, we all get into business. 90% of us anyway get into business because we have a passion for something. We don't necessarily know how to do the business, right? It's really more the passion behind it. And that's what makes us great at what we do. And wow, I'm so blessed to even know you. I'm so glad that we were.
Oh goodness, don't say that, for sure.
No,
Don't put me up on a pedestal, because that's a long fall down.
Well, and the really cool thing is I got to hear you talk about your business on Monday. And that was really eye-opening. And one of the reasons why I asked you to be on the show, and it really was your passion for your business, your passion for helping, and also because you're giving real opportunities for the community to give back, right, to your business. So let's dive into that. How can people get involved, one, in your business and help with the people that you have in your system, but also if, let's say, they live in another state, what is the first step that they need to do in order to be in a business like yours?
Okay. Well, great. So as far as, getting involved, we have our website. It's www.sanctuaryfostercare.org. And you can go on that, and pretty much anything that you are interested in doing, you can find a place. So we have donors for businesses. We have a business donor proposal that you can get on there, and we'll advertise and promote your business. If you come and you support us financially. We also, if you're interested in being a foster parent, that's great, or a babysitter, or something that's called a respite provider. And that is where you get fully licensed, but you keep kiddos for a weekend or a week whenever the foster parents go away on, whether they go away on vacation or they need a weekend away, you get to keep the kiddos for that time frame. We also have a buddy program that is like a big brothers, big sisters program, where you actually get to interact with the kiddos and support in that way. We have fundraising events that, if you want to volunteer at the fundraising event, or we need gift cards for fundraisers. We also need baskets and things that we auction off at the different fundraisers. So there's that as well. We are also, always looking for folks that are interested in giving in-kind donations. So I talked to someone, we're getting ready to move offices. And so guess what? We're going to need an IT person that comes in and helps us with that. And so, in turn for the in-kind donations, then for your business, we'll make sure and put you on our website and promote your business through our different social medias and various pages. So really anywhere that you would like to get involved, we can find a place for you. Our foster parents, whenever they get placed with a placement, we do a meal train for them for the first 2 weeks. So if your passion is cooking, then we've got a place for you as well. If if you're a great organizer, we've got a place for you too, because a lot of the kids, when they come, they don't have anything. They come with nothing. So we have people that are part of our clothing team. And when a kiddo comes with nothing, then they go out to all of our partner organizations and they gather clothing for the foster parents or the supplies that they need and take it to their house and drop it off. So really, anywhere that you are interested in getting involved, we have a place for you.
That is really cool. And I'd like to dig more into, a lot of people feel like they monetarily, 2020 was hard for a lot of people. And when they think
Yes.
about giving back, right, a lot of people first think dollar signs and they feel like they don't have
Hmm.
anything to give. But time is so important. If you can give time, and I heard lots of opportunities that you just threw out there where it is
Yes.
about giving your time. And I love the idea of even doing the respite, right? Where you can be involved for a weekend at a time. You go and get certified, you have the education, and you can be available. And what a great way, and maybe this is wrong for me to say, but I'm thinking, what a great way to see if you'd like to be a foster parent in the first place, right?
No, it's true.
And
A
like
lot of
try it
people, it's
on.
their first, it's their toe in the water. Yeah.
Mm.
They put that toe in the water first and see, wow, can I do this? Could I fit this into my lifestyle? All of that. That's a great way to get started.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. So, not just giving monetarily, but you can give back with your time. And as a business, it sounds like you're doing some trades. So, if there's some
Yes.
things that you may need in your business, then you could trade advertisement and those sorts of things back to the business. I love this. Amanda, you're awesome.
Oh, well,
I
thank you.
love that you do this. I am a big animal fan, so I do the same thing, and I'm part of organizations that do this for animals. And so we're kindred hearts, taking care of the community.
Well,
Um,
and I'm glad you said that, because honestly, one of our partner organizations is our animal shelters, because our kiddos, often the first connection that they make is with an animal. That's the first, major connection of love and all of those kind of things. And they can really relate to these animals that don't have a permanent home. And it actually helps them deal with their trauma and work through their trauma. So we encourage them, to volunteer at animal shelters, and the families do that. And so we really need volunteers that will be there to help manage that program so that the kiddos can do that as well. So I mean, we're always looking for ways to get people involved and to provide a village around these kids.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So, just to extend, if we've got listeners that are listening outside of our regular service area here, and they're very interested in getting involved in doing something like what you're doing, I know the process is very long and drawn out and probably took hours and days and years and months, right, to make it happen. But where do
Yeah.
they start? Is there a particular organization that they can reach out to where they could get started in something like that?
I mean, definitely they're welcome to reach out to me at any point in time and just, find out our story and how we got started and everything. The first place really would be to start by establishing a 501c3. That's the very first step, is to become a nonprofit. And then after that, then licensing, and a lot of times your state will help you walk through all the other portions of becoming licensed with that particular state.
Okay, wonderful. See how much of a giver you are. I just love it. I love your organization. I love your heart. For our listeners, if you want to get involved or engaged or help with the sanctuary foster care services, you're absolutely welcome to reach out to Amanda. She told me that she'd give you permission. So Amanda,
Of course.
right, exactly. So would you mind giving your contact information? I'll also post it in the show notes so that people can point and click.
Okay, great. So my cell phone number is 409-539-0170. You're welcome to contact me on that. My email address is aboyd@sanctuaryfostercare.org. Or like I said, you can go to our website too, www.sanctuaryfostercare.org. And there's a plethora of things for you to do there. If you are interested in volunteering, there's actually that you can click on that says volunteer, and there's a form for you to fill out. And then someone from our community relations team will contact you and get you plugged in.
I love that. Amanda, thank you so much for being on the show. And it was even short notice. By the way, you guys, this woman is very quick to respond. So I promise if you're looking for an opportunity, you're not going to have to wait long if you reach out to her. Wonderful.
I'll do
Thank
my
you.
best for sure.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely doing a wonderful job. Thank you for all you do. I know that the community and especially the children that you've taken into your own care and the children that you're assisting in care of others are all blessed to have you in their lives. And I appreciate you being on the show today to share your story.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
All right, guys, that concludes this week's podcast of Serving the Community. Bye.
Bye.